Today we have in the studio with us a couple of friends from the Mental Health Association of Wayne County. We want to welcome back Bobby Jones. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, nice to see you.
And Judy Howell. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Today we want to talk about a subject that can be heartbreaking. This is something that you hear more and more about every single day. It's been going on for who knows how long, hundreds of years, but it's come to light here recently because it's happening so often. That is human trafficking. This is a scourge to modern society. This has been increasing and growing to be a bigger problem than anyone would ever have imagined.
It is.
And the Mental Health Association is getting involved with this. Bobby, what are we doing?
Well, we're having a program on the 27th at Wages, and it's going to be from 12 to 1 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be, that's what we're going to be talking about, human trafficking.
Mm-hmm. Judy, give me an idea of some of the topics we're going to be talking about, discussing.
We're going to talk about the definition of human trafficking, where victims can be found, how to identify someone that is a victim of it.
This has become such a problem. They're even doing public service announcement on television about it, about how young people are caught up in a situation, perhaps a boyfriend, girlfriend thing, and then all of a sudden, the first thing you know, they have one of them has taken the other and left the area and forced into labor that they had rather not be involved with.
Right.
And you'll have to use your imagination about that. But you'll cover such things as how to recognize a victim. Some of these people who have been kidnapped and are forced to do things that they don't want to do, human trafficking,
right.
They're put into jobs and into positions where they have to do, have to work, and they're out on the street working.
And there are some indicators that you can see, but you have to be cognizant of what they might be, or maybe sensitive to the fact that we do have people in our community that are being exploited. And
there are signs.
Just like a child that's been exploited or been abused, that type of thing. And like for instance, we have an association. We have a church that we attend. We have clubs that we're members of, and that type of thing. But people that are usually human trafficked don't have those associations, if you will.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some of the other things that will be covered will be how to communicate with a victim. Of course, oftentimes, if you identify a victim and confront them, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to, because they're scared. That's exactly right. They are indeed terrified. Providing local resources. What would that mean? What does that entail?
I think that would involve bringing in like a mental health association or a law officer or an abuse network, maybe the women's shelter here in Wayne County, or a place that you could call that's private.
A person that's a young person who's been kidnapped and is involved in human trafficking would want to get out of it, but they want to get out of it safely.
Right.
Exactly.
And this would be one of the ways they could do that.
Right.
North Carolina laws. Do we have a law that directly addresses this? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but that's one of the areas that we get into at the presentation. So that's why we want as many people to come out so we can share as much as we possibly can. I'm really looking forward to it because I want to improve my awareness of that. I mean, we might be walking by people every day.
That's exactly right. And you don't know.
In restaurants, when you sit down, I think if people begin to know what to look for from coming to this, they could identify or save someone, because you might see someone that looks out of place, or I don't know, you just have an instinct maybe that something's not right.
That sixth sense kicks in and you say, well, why are they so quiet? Why are they so reserved? What are they afraid of?
And if you learn what you're looking for, you might be the one person that can save that child or individual from whatever lifestyle they're in right now.
Make that connection.
We all need to be aware of it, and I think it's something that we don't know enough about.
Yeah.
And if you wonder what is the impetus behind this, human trafficking is the second most profitable crime in the world, second to drug trafficking.
Really?
So
Really?
there's a lot of money that's being made
Wow.
about human trafficking.
All those lives of all those young people are at stake here.
Whether it be making them work, you know, for a no wage, a little wage, or sexual exploitation. You know, it's out there.
It is out there, and do not be confused for one moment thinking that, well, it's somewhere else. It's not here in Wayne County, North Carolina. Well, let me tell you, it could be absolutely anywhere. You just don't know where it might be happening. It could be anywhere. It could be it could be your next door neighbor's house. It could be up the street. It could be at the store you visit or the restaurant you visit.
To that point, let me share some of the myths that are associated
Do that.
with this. Number one is it does not occur in the United States.
Well, that is a myth. We know that.
That
yes.
is a myth, and victims are always foreign.
Oh no.
We have domestic victims. That's U.S. citizens that are victims. There are only poor people that are victims. A lot of wealthy people are being trafficked. And it's a lot of people think human trafficking is just for sexual exploitation. That's clearly not the case. In particular, with it's one of I was so concerned about some of our recent immigration laws because it really exacerbate the human trafficking situation when people who are already afraid, they're clearly not going to come forward now to talk about the people that's holding in bondage, if you will. All victims are forced or coerced. Believe it or not, some of the victims are not forced or coerced. You know, but
They are encouraged
they're encouraged
to do things that they don't really want to do.
Are they grown to be comfortable for whatever reason? That type of thing. And victims will seek help when they're in public. That's a myth as well. A lot of victims are out in public and they will not seek help.
Well, again, they're frightened at what might happen. And oftentimes they're told that the fact that they were taken, they're blamed for doing that, for being caught in that situation. So the child is confused about that, thinking, well, if I go somewhere, they're going to blame me for this. If I'm caught or found out, then
or I've committed a crime, or I've done some drugs, or that type of thing.
And one name that comes to mind was, I think her name was Samantha Smart, or something, something like that. She was kidnapped, and I'm not sure that would be a human trafficking case, but that is along the same lines.
It is.
And she was asked, when she was recovered, she was asked, well, why didn't you seek help? Why didn't you look for help? She said, well, as I recall, she didn't think anyone cared. She wasn't sure what to do. She was young, and she just didn't understand what was really happening. So it's out there, and it's happening.
It's
Human
scary.
trafficking. It is very scary. It could happen to any child.
And people believe if you're coming from a bad environment already, and someone shows you a better way, or talks to you about how they can do good things for you, and you think, well, if I can just get to this point, I'm going to have a better life. Only it's going to a worse life, but you don't realize that until you get there.
That's right.
So it's so I can see how children and even adults would go with someone that is offering them, the rose garden.
Sure, and younger children are so easily influenced in that regard.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to get out, in particular with the lack of a support infrastructure, a pathway to get out of that.
Yeah. So number one, you want to go to this program sponsored by the Mental Health Association of Wayne County. This is going to be at Wages, right?
Wages.
Give me some details. When is this going to be?
It's going to be June 27th. It's going to start at 12 o'clock noon. At the program, if you want lunch, they will provide lunch, but we do need for you to call and let us know. And I think there's a $5 fee for the lunch.
Right.
Wages provides the lunch there. And it'll be from 12 to 1 and have a time for question and answer. So we encourage you to come out and and help us protect Wayne County.
Just say the address. I'm sure everybody know where wages is. Just say
Oh,
that.
right. The address is 601 Royal Avenue.
Right?
We'll have a sign out there that'll say Mental Health Association.
That's between Wayne Memorial Drive and William Street.
Correct.
Right, wages, 601 Royal Avenue, and if someone wants to enjoy the meal, it's $5, but they need to call,
Yes.
and that's the Mental Health Association number, which is?
919.
Yes.
734-3530.
Right, 734-3530. There you go, very good.
I'm going to learn that number. I
Go,
promise.
Judy. Very good, okay. Again, is Tuesday, this Tuesday evening, and that's the 27th of June at the Wages Office on Royal Avenue.
Tuesday at noon.
Tuesday at noon at the Wages Office on Royal Avenue.
Okay.
I'll get it. All right. A very serious subject, very serious problem, growing problem. Thank you, Bobby, for being with us. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Wayne,
that good
for having
information.
us.
Judy, always good
Thank
to see
you.
you, dear.
Good to see you.